What's up, guys? I'm just gonna show you a quick look at my Fallkniven F1 official Swedish survival knife, Swedish Air Force survival knife. Um, it is made out of VG10 laminated steel, which is sandwiched in between two 420 slabs. So in the core is actually very hard, kind of expensive steel. It really holds its edge really well, almost as well as carbon, but not as well. But then again, this doesn't rust, and carbon rusts pretty easy. So I would probably give the edge to this, the VG10. And like I said, it's sandwiched in between two 420s, which is a softer, more corrosion resistant steel. And plus, I hear the lamination actually gives more strength to the steel. Not sure about that. I know it does for wood. If you laminate wood, it's just stronger. I'm sure not. I don't know the physics of that, but there's something there. It's blackened, which I prefer. I think the only way you can get the s.h.t.f sheath is by getting it blackened. And the handle is it's like Duramold or something like that. It's a lot like Cold Steel's handles, but a little harder. So it's a really hard rubber, or it's a really soft plastic, however you want to look at it. But it is harder than the Cold Steel, which I think it might last longer. And I haven't had any problems with my Cold Steel lasting. This is a couple years old, and you can see some wear on it, but it definitely held up. The sheaths, it comes with either a leather or a s.h.t.f, which I opted for the s.h.t.f, or actually I guess I got them both, but I prefer the s.h.t.f. The leather is fine. It looks better than the s.h.t.f. It's made well. It's thick leather. It's not poorly made. The snap is good. The retention on it is great. And that's important to me. A knife isn't safe to me if it doesn't have good enough retention, and I won't buy a knife if it doesn't have a good sheath. And the leather is adequate. It's just, for me, it's slow to get into use. To draw it out is slower. Some people cut that part off, and it will still hold itself, just so they have faster access to their knife. Me, I just always have it in this. I don't even know why I got the leather sheath. But this is uglier, definitely uglier, but a lot more simple. It's almost as simple as it gets. It's keep it simple, stupid, and that's how I like it. I don't really necessarily need it for looks. It's got those little weird things. I think that kind of makes it ugly. But I put the tire inner tube over it, and right there is a little knife sharpener and a ferrocene rod. I do want to get a sewing needle in there, a pretty large, maybe leather sewing needle, and maybe a lanyard cord. But as far as the blade, it's a really thick blade, a 0.1/8 of an inch, and it works well. I mean, it's a little thicker than most, especially for how small the knife is. It's pretty thick, and I think that actually hampers on how sharp I can get it. I can get it right now. I don't believe it's shaven sharp. My hair is a little difficult to shave, anyways. It's thin pussy hair. But yeah, so it isn't shaven sharp right now. I can get it shaven sharp. There's a little piece of hair. I can get it shaven sharp, but I can't get it scary sharp, where you don't even want to do that to the blade. That'll probably cut you. I've got many other knives that sharp, but they're also a lot thinner than that. And it's not a big issue to me. It's still sharp as heck. Let me see if I can find a piece of paper. Well, this ain't paper, but it's cardboard. It's me. No problem. That's easy as hell. So like I said, it's sharp enough for me. I don't use it as a hunting knife. It can be used as a hunting knife. The blackened blade, I think it's meant for the military, you know, in tactical situations. You don't want any shine or anything catching your enemy's attention. But another guy had told me it's also good for when you're butchering meat. A lot of different knives will suction to the knife. This one, the I guess it's rougher texture, so it doesn't act as a suction. Never had that problem. I've just heard it, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. Went through that full tang. It's got a lanyard hold. The lanyard hold's in an awkward place. Just usually they're down there on the bottom. I might throw a lanyard in there and see if it affects my grip or not. And if it does, of course, it will get tossed. And lanyards aren't my thing, really, anyways. It's just, if this is going to be a survival knife, it would be nice to have that extra cordage attached to it. Okay, cover the sheath, the blade. The reason why I picked this knife up is just because it's really camping. I used to go backpacking a lot, and I take this big old cold steel, and I still love this knife. I have nothing against this knife at all. Besides, it is a pound. A pound is kind of heavy. Some people say you need a big survival knife. I'm into big knives. You know, my ideal survival knife used to be, you know, Rambo, Crocodile Dundee. I don't know. Maybe I was trying to compensate for something. I don't know. My wife doesn't complain, but maybe I was. So hunting, this knife will work. I mean, it'll work good, but there is actually knives that are sharper because they're thinner. I heard somebody complain about the angle that they cut this in. They like it more flat. Just a couple little small minor details that they were complaining about it not being a good hunting knife. And they're viable. I listened to them, and it kind of sunk in. Maybe this isn't the best hunting knife, skinning knife, which, you know, I might only be doing a couple times a year anyways. Backpacking knife it's light. Like I said, I took the big old freaking machete, machete. I've seen people take bigger knives than that. But this is definitely lighter, so it's more compact. It's easy to. I mean, if I bring this with me, I hardly will ever have it on person. It will be in my backpack. But now that I take this, it's on my hip. I can grab it whenever I want. I don't have to bring a pocket knife. I don't have to worry about losing one of my pocket knives. The reason why I got the idea was I got sick of carrying this big old beast around, so I went and bought this for $20. I believe it's the Kershaw Elk Hunter. You can see, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't. I got a bad camera, but it is rusting. You can see some discoloration. It's not pitting yet, but one day it will. And I'm not a big fan of this Skinner hook, whatever, gut hook, whatever you want to call it. I was thinking actually about cutting that off, but it's just a waste of time. Just leave it on there. It does work, but like I said, I'm not a big hunter, so I'm not skinning a lot of things. Hardly ever. I've shot a turkey this year, and that's about it. Survival knife. A lot of people like the bigger knives because you can baton through the big pieces of wood, and that's understandable. Fire is very important in a survival situation. And if it's raining or wet out and it's just coming down, it's going to be hard to find dry wood. And that's when the bigger bigger knives come in handy because you could just baton straight down the middle of it, of a nice chunk of log, and find that dry wood. This one, you can piece that log together until you get to the dry center. But I've only done this once, and it's not easy. You can carve a piece of wood into a wedge, and kind of get a crack started with your knife, and then use that wedge to finish it off. It's extremely difficult, time consuming, but in a pinch, and that's the only time I would do it, is in a pinch. It will work, and I can get to that dry wood and start a fire. So maybe a big knife isn't always best. It's heavy, but it's not always best. I'd prefer a knife like this for a fighting knife, definitely. It's got the guard. This does no guard. It has sharpened backside, which is better for stabbing. It's not sharpened, but it does go to a point. The reach is the biggest issue. Shit, I don't want to get that close to anybody. And even so a knife is my last resort. I don't know why I got a knife. I should have shot that motherfucker. If we're in combat. I don't know, maybe I wanted to sneak ups to somebody. I have no clue. As a fighting knife, it will do, but it's probably not the one that you're going to want to choose if you're going to go into a knife fight. Camping, got that one down. EDC, it's okay, it's adequate. Like when I'm going camping and stuff, I do carry it on me, and it's not noticeable. To me, I guess you can't carry this with it being concealed, or it'd be illegal in Washington anyways. I think for a concealed knife you have to have under 3 inches, and this is 4 inches. I think 3 ounces for a carry knife, if you're going to carry every day, all day, is probably as heavy as I want to get. I go towards 2 ounces, and that's what I choose. Here it is, the Kershaw Chill, 2 ounces. This is what I EDC every day. I prefer pocket knives. They're just easier to maintain and put in your pocket, take out your pocket, fast, cheaper too. I can buy 5 of those before I could buy one of these. And that's what I look for in EDC, is a cheap knife, because like I said, I tend to lose about 3 a year. And the Chill's $20. If I can't find the Chill, I'll go with the G10 Nighthawk, or G10 Hawk, which is also made by Kershaw. $20, about the same weight, 2 ounces. Might go up a little bit in weight and pick up the Skyline. It's also a little bit more expensive, but I do prefer the Skyline over this one, and also the G10 Hawk. And last resort is the Ripple. I enjoy the Ripple too. It's not my favorite, but it works. It's a little rough on your hands, but you get over that pretty quick. I even had one and kind of ground down some of the sharper corners on it. But back to the knife, it's a little big for me. 6 ounces, 8.5 inches long. It's doable. I do it camping all the time, but every day, all day, I'm going to go with a smaller pocket knife. It's more compact, and I can actually conceal it legally. Here in Washington, 3 inches is as much you can conceal. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is I don't know if I went over the convex grind, but it's a full flight ground into a convex edge, which means that it kind of rolls. It kind of rolls to a point instead of straight. It kind of just rolls, which is supposed to make it more durable. There it is. If you liked the video, go ahead and subscribe, like. If you didn't like it, I don't know why you're still watching. Have a nice day. Bye.